Hello, my dear beings, be it minerals, vegetables, animals, including humans, aliens, uh, energy entities, universal conscience, and so on. Here, I am Ferruccio Bilic, PhD. I'm going to talk about artificial intelligence through the ages. Uh, there has been a concern lately that artificial intelligence will become prevalent and will surpass all living things. Uh, maybe. Uh, but similar phenomena type artificial intelligence has been occurring through the ages. Yes, in several opportunities through the ages, we see kind of cultural or intellectual revolutions. Okay. And they have a big impact on human development. Let me remind the case of, there are several cases, okay? Several cases throughout the before history, through history, and lately. We can pick the idea of Fibonacci, okay? Seems that his name was Leonard also, but was from Pisa. Was a fellow that is the son of a merchant in the Middle Ages. And he got in touch with the Hindu Arabic numbers and realized that was a better system than the Roman numerals, okay? In several sense, okay? I'm not going to discuss in detail, but even though he wrote a little publication showing how useful was the Hindu Arabic numbers. As a matter of fact, they were created by the Hindus, okay? The Arabic people only uh, brought about this knowledge to the Western. And was a kind of evolution. The Renaissance also was a kind of revolution. Was some knowledge that was in Constantinople when it was taken over by the Arabs in 1453, right? This the intellectuals that were living in Constantinople moved to the home to Italy, right? And started the Renaissance, a kind of artificial intelligence also. Similar thing already had happened in Alexandria, also in Damascus, in other situations also. Okay. Therefore, this concern about anthropoid, that artificial intelligence is doing something that humans cannot follow, it's not true. Artificial intelligence doesn't create a thing. The only thing that artificial intelligence does is copying all over, plagiating, doesn't create a thing. Use idea that in several parts of the world were developed by humans and start using this thing. This phenomenon we did use several times throughout our history. Okay. Neural network is a very simple, silly technique. Okay. If you think a little bit, you can create several techniques that are even better than neural system, okay? Mathematical neural system. I want to share one idea. When I was at the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania doing my PhD, there was one moment that I was interested in planning, okay? I had some of the best professors in planning in the world, and said to myself, well, why not to write a PhD dissertation on this subject, okay? And then I start thinking about evaluating planning. Even if I came up with 7 different way of evaluating planning, semi-mathematical ways, okay, of evaluating planning. Very interesting, okay? And I submitted to these professors, top of the world. They were supposed to be expert in planning. When I came up with the idea of evaluating planning, they didn't have a clue what I was talking about. Brilliant people, okay? But they couldn't follow what I was talking about. And whereas I devised a very interesting system of evaluating planning. Some using graph theory with a property in graph theory called composition that was brilliant for evaluating planning. Another one of information theory that also was brilliant to detect unfair use of information. Based on this, we can detect now if someone is cloning your cards, okay? Very interesting idea also that I developed. A very mathematical thing, okay? Had to do with a lot of probability distributions and use something called convolution. As a matter of fact, this idea of convolution could be used also to help deal with probability function or Schrodinger equation. Okay? Because the physicists didn't know what to do with Schrodinger equations. Now you can compose if you have interaction between particle things, then you have what I call convolution, okay? Geometrically, you can have a distribution like this, and you pass through the other, the area that goes through both distribution is the convolution, okay? It means that represent the whole system together. But none of the physicists have a clue also. As a matter of fact, you can use this to solve this problem with convolution of distribution. Please give my Nobel Prize in physics, in chemistry, or whatever. Boy. And therefore, this idea of evaluating planning was so far-fetched for my professors. They couldn't follow what I was talking about. Therefore, I stopped talking about this thing and did one very small thing, a mathematical application of entropy maximizing technique together with utility function. Boy. But not because people doesn't understand that it is something spiritual. No, we human are very, very narrow-minded, very simple-minded, very stupid. As a matter of fact, even Einstein couldn't understand how particles could be entangled. But nobody knows how the thing works, okay? I can imagine a lot of way of explaining this thing using wormhole, whatever. But it's not the point. The point that the thing works and that we are stupid and don't understand why. Okay? There are a lot of things that will arrive at one moment that we see, boy, that's simple. And we will see that not magic or things like that. Okay? Therefore, these problems of dealing with artificial intelligence and thinking that it can create something, no, it's not true. Artificial intelligence doesn't create a thing. It is only making plagiarism, copying all over the world, all over the ages. Boy. And therefore, we shouldn't be that afraid of things. There are a lot of things that we know how to make it work and don't understand why it works. What it means? It means that we have the implicit knowledge, but do not have the explicit knowledge. Okay? Implicit knowledge is when you understand how to do the thing. Explicit knowledge, and when you are able to explain what's happening. Most of our knowledge is implicit. Only after a long period of maturation is that we reach the level of making it explicit. Okay? Therefore, since the Stone Age, humans are dealing with implicit knowledge. Explicit knowledge, only very recently we can explicit some of it. Not all of it, but some of it. Okay? Still a lot of our knowledge is implicit. It's implicit means that we know how to do it, but we don't understand how it works. Why? Therefore, Don't worry about the machine taking over. Uh, because we are a kind of machine, biological machine, okay? Uh, as a matter of fact, people start thinking about the spiritual thing. No need. We can imagine that the universe is just quantum fluctuations, okay? In the end, it's 0 by 0, okay? There is a little fluctuation, but it's a random fluctuation. And everything in the universe are nothing more than just random fluctuation. Of course, we will try to improve it, even with our consciousness, because it's a kind of energy, transcendental, okay? You cannot kill energy. And therefore, our conscience, mind, your, will add together towards universal consciousness, okay? And we hope that we can, we as our international conscience, start improving the universe. No need to appeal for spiritual things like that. Okay? Just quantum variation. And enjoy the process. Our alive process, our transcendental process of consciousness. As a matter of fact, that's why I insist in thinking about value, planning value, okay? Why? Because the value that we have at the moment are not good for the moment and are worse for the future, because they have bad consequences. Therefore, we should continuously create new values with better consequences, okay? And these better values will bring about a better conscience that we will take to the universal conscious and improve the whole system, okay? A little esoteric, right? Yes, it is. But therefore, don't worry. That is a process that we are in, trying to improve our consciousness, our values. Artificial intelligence is just one little fad that is occurring right now. We had several little fads throughout history, okay? Don't worry about artificial intelligence, okay? Use it, improve it, do the best that you can, because to create things is still you need to have living things. Not only animals, could be vegetable, could be mineral. Okay. Uh, I think that for the moment is enough. Please, if you like these ideas, uh, do give your like. I would appreciate if you could make some criticism and suggestion. Share these ideas with whoever you want. Uh, uh, Register in my channel, and so that you can have contact with new ideas that I will bring to you. And I thank you very much for your attention.